And Spice Love Comedy Bash is back by popular demand. Saturday 17th August at the Trade Center in Grandance and Sunday 18th August at Deluxe Cinema Grenville, 7 p.m. both shows. Prepare to be swept off your seats as Grenada's ambassadors of comedy will flood the place with laughter. Robert White, Dillian Walters and Gregory Paul, Kareem Alexis, and a host of others. Outrageously funny people doing outrageously funny things. Get your $60 tickets on sale at Mitchell's Pharmacy Food Fair Complex Grandance, Gittins Pharmacy Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmota, St. Andrew's Pharmacy Grenville, St. David's Pharmacy, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B Shoe Store, Downtown St. George's, and go to Fed.com. Tickets for the previously scheduled Grenville performances are valid for both shows. Don't miss this final opportunity to enjoy a good Grenadian laugh at Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, 17th and 18th August at the Grenada Trade Center and Deluxe Cinema. Get your tickets and come prepared to laugh.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, clubbers, and welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Club. Okay, it's another fantastic Friday in the Isle of Spice. And as I remind you every morning, one of the most important things, the first thing you do in a morning, and I always encourage you to wake up early, is to give Papa God thanks and to also list the things that you are grateful for. This morning, of course, we're in the carnival season. I'm still grateful and will always be grateful that I live in one of the most peaceful and safest countries in the world. I don't take that for granted. I am grateful that there is so much opportunity still to be taken. I am grateful for my family and friends. I am grateful for the garbage collectors that I'm hearing outside, because sometimes we take these people for granted, and I'm going to talk about that in the What Irks Kirk segment, taking people for granted and looking down on people. But as the next segment, I'm grateful for them, because without them, I'd be living in a very, very stink place. They do a phenomenal job, and we mustn't take them for granted. I'm also grateful for my dogs. I am grateful for this platform. And yes, I'm grateful for you. And I want to say a special thank you to all the viewers. I know you have a choice. I know there's so many things that you could be doing this morning, but you have made the Wake Up Club on the Ride Along Network the #1 morning program in the Caribbean. Now, I don't take that for granted. Simple little old me on a little podcast on the Ride Along Network. You have made us #1 in the Caribbean, and I don't take that for lightly. I appreciate you. Of course, we're going to keep bringing you the content. As I say, if there's something that you'd like us to discuss on the program, do hit us up and let us know, because we want to be able to talk to you and to talk about the things that you are interested in. Of course, I have a fantastic guest this morning. She's a CEO, she's a philanthropist, she's a humanitarian, she's a motivator, and I say that because I remember once doing some decor for Lex and Fletcher. She had this woman's empowerment session, and I was the only guy there because I was doing the decor, and mind you, this woman blew me away with her take on life and her experiences in life. And from my personal experience with her, I could tell you, just a plain old, good human being. And I had to say humanitarian because recently I've been seeing her on the ground in Carriacou. And when I say on the ground, literally on the ground, sleeping on the ground, doing her part to give back. And I'm speaking about none other than Mrs. Rolanda McQueen. So we're going to be chatting with her as well. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about what irks Kirk, and then we are going to dive into a lot of things with Mrs. McQueen. We're going to be talking Spice Mass. Some of you remember the Mount Pure and Spice Mass fiasco. We're going to be talking about the current water situation in the country because it hasn't changed. And we also going to, Mrs. McQueen is a former senator. So I also want her take on the situation that just, recently transpired with the sacking of Senator Jonathan Lacrette. So we take a quick break and we'll be right back, folks.
Today we go mash it up. 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 They can't stop the unstoppable. They can't move the unmovable. They can't move the unmovable. They can't break the unbreakable. They can't break the unbreakable.
Welcome back, clubbers. Now, this segment is called What Irks Kirk. And unfortunately, I don't have no bacchanal for you this morning. But let me tell you what irks me. What irks me is that we live in a world with so much diversity and potential, but yet I still see people looking down on others. And for me, I don't understand what that is about. Now, I went to this session yesterday evening, and I realized that I was treated differently from another person. And I was wondering, I don't think I have no status. I'm probably bigger than everybody size-wise when I walk in the room, so you probably can't miss me. But I saw people jump out of themselves to say hello to me and to greet me. And I saw an associate of mine walk in the room and they didn't even place eye contact. Listen, we have to do better as a people. I just talk about the garbage man outside there. Some of us don't realize that all of us play a role in the circle of life. And let me tell you something, and I noticed it, and the same person that paid me the courtesy and ignored the other person is a person that I've been observing. I remember once listening to that person tell another friend, "You are nothing, you don't have a degree." Why are we still like that? There's so much potential in the world. Why can't we show respect to people regardless of their income, where they live, what car they drive? Some of us are really backward in this century, really, really backward. I just can't understand why it is we can't respect everybody. Some of you grew up poor, okay? You go through a lot of tribulations growing up poor. You want to be like the Joneses. You want to live like them. And when you acquire what the Joneses have acquired, you start to behave like the Joneses, not in having everything, but in treating people less than. I probably have to bring on a psychologist because I really don't know the answer. Why some of you, when you arrive, okay, behave so badly when in turn you should treat others with respect. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's some sort of syndrome. I don't know what to call it. But you have to respect your fellow man. You have to respect your fellow man. We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth. We have fantastic weather. You know what is the problem in Grenada? The people and their behavior, their mindset. You all that mucking up the country, We got to change that. You used to complain about Europeans and we slaves. And some of you still mental slaves because all you want to behave like the white man and look down on people based on the color, where they come from, what job they do. You've got to change that. Wake up. You're spoiling a good thing. The beach is still lovely. We still, Beryl Pass, and we get a hit on agriculture. But the real big hit, the real destruction of Grenada is the mentality of the people. Love each other. I tell all you, that is the first job description you ever get. Papa God give you your first job description, and it was to love your neighbor as yourself. What happened to love? Why are you so? Or let us get me riled up on a morning, but I had to talk the talk. Listen, that's what irks me this morning. So this morning, when you're getting up, you get up, tell everybody in the house morning. Tell them you love them. When you go to work today, be courteous. The person you normally don't say hello or good morning to, say hello or good morning. Practice it. You might feel better about yourself. Okay? In fact, Grenada will be full with love today if you all practice being better human beings. We take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be chatting with Mrs. Rolanda McQueen. Stay tuned.
Today we go mash it up. 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 Can't stop the unstoppable. Can't move the unmovable. Can't move the unmovable. Can't break the unbreakable. Can't break the unbreakable.
Today. Located inside Ryder Excursion at the Esplanade Mall, we handle both small and large orders with speed and precision. For fast, quality t-shirt printing, call Instaprint at 473-422-1011. Get your perfect print today at Instaprint. Printing done in an instant.
Good morning, clubbers. Welcome back. Of course, this morning I'm joined by a fantastic human being. As I said, they wear a lot of hats, but humanity and being a good person trumps all of it. I want to welcome to the Wake Up Club, Mrs. Rolanda McQueen. Mrs. McQueen, welcome to the Wake Up Club.
Oh, Kirk, the introduction brought tears to my eyes. Am I allowed to say what hurts me as well?
I would love for you to tell me what irks you for sure.
What hurts me most, Kurt, you know where my office is. I'm right in the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
And what hurt me is the way the people in the ghetto are treated.
Okay.
The boys I get more respect from the guys in the ghetto than I get from the people that we will call the good people.
Mm-hmm.
I get more respect from the guys in Four Road than the guys that have the tie and the suit and working in big jobs. I can leave my business in the ghetto and go home and nobody would touch it. If I have a problem, I can call up any of the guys in the ghetto and says, please help me. I employ 2 guys in the ghetto, and they are some of my hardest workers. If I feel down, I could call all the guys, any of the guys, and say, give me a hug. They call me mom.
Mm-hmm.
What hurts me as well, Kurt, are the people with disability in Grenada that we throw on the side as a piece of garbage. I have 2 young people working for me who have learning difficulties. Kirk, if there is more people with difficulties, disabilities in Grenada, I will be so happy to employ them. They are what you call excellent workers. They don't want, I don't know, most people know Travis is one of them. Travis would call me, he does not miss work. We have to, if Travis is ill, we have to force him to go out. And you know the most beautiful thing, his mother said to me, they went to America. And she said, Miss McQueen, do you know Travis was able to pay his own fare ticket? This makes me feel good. What hurts me, Kurt, when I see women and children being sexually abused, and the law do not give them satisfaction. Nothing become of it. Kurt, this hurt me, and this is something I'm going to take on.
When 6 people,
you know, Kurt, it hurts me. Children, 2, 3-year-old, and when a man I find a little bit of weed, that case would go and happen immediately. Within a month, they would think, this hurts me. It's sick. This is a cancer that is eating our country. And that hurts me when I see our women and children are not getting satisfaction. But what hurts me is when I see women are saying to me, Miss McQueen, one of my employees said to me, when I have to go and get money for my child, I have to sleep with the father before I could get the money. And she said, if you see, I go a certain place and I have to go to the public toilet. What hurt me, Kirk, is when women in the rainy season now, Kurt, having to say that they don't want the rainy season to come because they are wetting in their house. But somebody I know said to me, I changed my windows. And I said, oh, I've got some windows if anyone wants some. And once someone said to me, yes, Miss McQueen, I would love to have some. So I said, well, send me a photo of the size of your window. When that person sent me the photo, that person was an employee of mine. Cook, I was hurt and I was embarrassed that one of my employees had to be living in that situation. I was embarrassed, that, and I said, to myself, I didn't say it to her, that would never, ever happen again. That hurts me, when I see so many of us do not pay any attention to the people around and how we are living. But there is so much that hurt me. But, people say I like confusion. So, I can't. I'm like you. I could go on and on and on. We live in a beautiful island. But we have beautiful people. I owe my island so much, Kurt. This island has made me who I am. My role models, Kurt, are the people in Mama Can.
Okay.
The people that look after me, Kurt, when I was growing up as a child. The people in Croatia, the people in Munich, the people in Cafe, the people in Pay-Marie. These are my family, Kurt. Right? Kurt, when I help my school, there are things I don't like to speak about because when I do something for Grenada...
I know that about you. I know that you do so much around the country. And sometimes I say to myself, but she's doing so much and she says nothing about it.
Because,
Kurt, corporation would be spreading it far and wide.
What? You know why I don't say, Kurt? If I'm friend with your mom, if we do something for each other, we're not going to speak about it because that's family.
True.
If I do something for my people, why should I speak about it? That is family. When the Chinese give us something, that is charity. When I give something to my people, that is family. So there is a big difference. I will not speak about what I give to my family. You're not going to speak. If you give me something, you're not going to broadcast, I gave Miss McQueen this, because we are family. I cannot stand when people do it. I'm helping and I'm helping my family. And that is when I speak, Kurt, and I speak passionate. People think maybe I'm speaking down to people. I'm not. I know what we are capable of. And I know, Kurt, we can do it. And we can do it 100%. And let us do it.
Definitely. Now I have to ask you, we are in the carnival season and you and your company are no stranger to carnival. In fact, in 2019, there was this huge controversy that I had to step in because I couldn't understand why it even happened in the first place. There was this incident at the Spicemas Corporation. You were forbidden from participating in a national event. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. It was a national event. It wasn't some private corporation having an event where you could forbid people or you could have a certain brand only associated. Now, there was a lot of drama that came out of that, and a lot of people don't understand. Now, recently I learned, I know that it became a matter for the court, and I know recently, as I think that you won the case. Can you tell me a little about that? But first of all, I remember speaking to you recently, and you said to me that you understood there was no animosity between you and Mr. Jacob, who was the CEO at the time, and I really admired your stance on it. Can you tell me a little bit about What happened and where we are now?
What people saw was the ending. The year before, that was the first year we came into business. I met a very good friend, and he was selling water on the Carenage. And I know he would sell my water. We family. And he said to me, Miss McQueen, I can't sell your water. I was forbidden from selling your water. And I said, what? And if following after Carnival, I phoned a lawyer up, and the lawyer didn't want to go there.
Okay.
And I thought, you know something, I'm going to have patience, and I'm going to plan, and I'm going to wait for the next season. And because, you know, we try to do whatever it is. And we were told that Glenegg was the sponsor. And I want people to know, I look at Glenegg as the big brother. We are the little sister. They've been there before us. We can learn from them. You know, I am proud of them. Who wouldn't be proud of a company that's been going so long? So it has nothing to do with Glenegg. And when I spoke to Mr. Jacob, he said to me that, in not so many words, it's not, I realized it wasn't him that was preventing Montpelier from taking part. And I told him, I said, you know something, we are going to take part. And at that time, I had put out an advert because, Kirk, when I was growing up as a child, our parents made money to send us back to school during the carnival season by going and selling the liquor tarts, and at that time, you know, doing things to make a hustle. And I wanted to do that in the UK around the holiday season. You put on, companies put on extra work so people can get money and things. And that's the same thing I wanted to bring here. Most people did. I went to the office because I wanted to know, I wanted to employ people. I had people outside waiting, you know, can I sell? When I went in, I stood out there for quite a while, and I went and I knocked on the office, and he told me to come in. When I said who I was, I think he was surprised. He didn't know me. And when he come out and he shut the door, I really do not believe Mr. Jacob wanted to hurt me. I just believe he was between a rock and a hard place. People said to me I should take him to court, but why? Why taking family to court? We fight, but we make up. I don't worry about that. I truly believe if he had the ability to say everybody take part, I believe he hasn't said that to me, but I believe he would. Everybody I had spoken to said he was a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. I, you know, sent out an olive branch for him, and I said, you know, if you want to have a cup of tea one day, let us do that. He didn't take up the offer, but I hope he can. But one of the things, Cook, I would love to say is, I think they had asked you for a comment. And the comment that you made me feel so good because you didn't bash me. I remember the spokesperson for SMC, a lady, came on and she said they're going to have a full investigation, no stone unturned. I'm still waiting. And that is the problem we have here. We talk, we speak, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on your radio, we speak a lot of crap. We chat the chat, but we don't back it. Where is this woman? Where is the investigation? You know, and that is where I as a Grenadian, I have every right to take part, as you or any other Grenadian, to take part in any national event. And most Grenadians, most lawyers did not understand that this was my right. And that frightened me. It made me think if I'm in trouble, maybe I may have to bring in a lawyer in from Trinidad, or I'll have to go back to Mr. Ferguson. Because I do believe there's a lot of innocent people in jail here in Grenada because them lawyers and them, they don't know what's going on. Even when the case was going on, Kirk, people was believing that I was wrong. What I have done, Kirk, and somebody I saw on Facebook said, oh, 3,500. This is a big win for Grenada. We are going to change policies. We are going to change law. You see these contractors that always getting the job? We can challenge that now. You know, the liquor man that never get the opportunity, the person in the country That maybe her child is brighter than yours, but my Don's child is the one that getting the scholarship. We can ask, why is that happening? And we can challenge it. Why my child is getting all A's, yours are getting C's, and yours could get the scholarship and mine cannot. This is what I am fighting for. Let us be fair to each other. You know, give us what is due to us. It's not about, you know, it's no longer, because I have not been to university. The only certificate I have is my driving license. I didn't like school. You know, it's only later on in life I realized I'm dyslexic. You know, if I had remained in Grenada, they call you Dons. As you said, people will say I don't have a degree. You know, one of the things I see here that people that who are academics, they couldn't even be bothered to help the people like me that struggles. You know, being a CEO of GDP, I'm able to stand up. We have cases, stand up for people like me that struggles, you know. But again, I'm in good stands with people like Richard Branson. There are so many people here you find that are not academics, but we are gifted in many other ways, you know. And this is the type of things, when you look at Moncpure, where I've taken that company in that short period of time, because our salary is over $1 million a year. Now, if people pray for my failure is your failure. Your failure is my failure, because if we fail, I can't pay tax. We cannot get.
A lot of people don't seem to understand that. You know, that when you're looking for the demise of somebody else, you're actually digging a hole for yourself.
Yes. Who is, if I don't pay tax, how are we going to pay for medicine? How are we going to pay the teachers? How are we going to pay the dustbin man? How are we going to do these things? So what we have to do is to work together. Work, push, work, push. But after the abolition of slavery in Grenada, we were left with no panties. People used to be walking around with trousers good in front and no bam bam behind. Look at where we have come. Look at how far we have come. These people had nothing. Most of us are one step away from the village. Most people around my age and older, their parents had to sell chickens and pigs to give them an education. Now we have free education. Look at how far we have gotten. Do you think if our parents had sat down in their sorrow and thinking, oh, you know, we was enslaved, do you think we would have been where we are today? When I look at where I live, when I look at the people that I associate with, you know, do you think if our ancestors didn't lead the way for us, we would have been here today? Now let us lead the way for the next generation. You know, let us stop.
Amen to that, because I think that we have to understand that we are supposed to become better versions of ourselves, better versions of our parents and our grandparents, to ensure that the future generation has it better. And when I say better, I don't mean easier, because you still have to instill those principles of hard work, dedication, loyalty, honesty. You know. Now I have to ask you, we're talking water, and I know that you would have won the case against Spice Mass, which sets a precedence, and to some people it may not be important, but to some people who have the insight would understand what this means. Okay? Because a lot of people don't understand that Spice Mass is a national event. It's your event, you know. But I want to talk about the water situation in Grenada. You know, are we getting some rain? But to me, we ain't getting no set of rain yet. You know, we suffered tremendously through the dry season, and also you mentioned earlier that you see Glen Elk as a brother, and I know that for a fact because I know that recently they encountered problems, and you were somebody lobbying to help alleviate and fix those problems. Give me your take on the current water situation in the country, because I'm seeing so many foreign waters coming in, and sometimes I don't think people understand how good our local water is, because you don't brag about it enough as well. I won't tell you. You have a water that has won numerous international awards, even being coined as one of the best waters in the world. And sometimes we take our own for granted, or we don't understand. Goodness gracious, Grenada. Give me your take on all of that.
Education. We have to educate our people. I remember going around the schools and letting kids know that when you take a bottle of water up, read the typical analysis. If you see 000 at the back of it, that means the water has no minerals. Our body is made up of minerals. We have fantastic water here in Grenada. You know, when I was growing up as a child, the older people knew the difference between rainwater, river water, ravine water, spring water. Now, Grenadians are saying water is water. Water is not water. When I see the price, the foreigners appreciate Mount Pure water. When I go to a hotel or a restaurant and I see the price, Mount Pure water is being sold at. It is shocking. I cannot afford to buy Mount Pure water in England.
Okay.
People have to understand what we have here is good. And when we had the crisis of water, it's planning. How could we be surrounded by water and saying we have a water problem? It's ridiculous. Come on, we're surrounded by water and we have a water problem. We do not plan. We do not plan. We don't plan for anything. We wait, and when it happens, we're hoping that we'll get aid or whatever it is. And people, when you see up to now, Glenelg is at the moment is not in operation. Spice Masters contacted me and said, Miss McQueen, you know, we need water for our occasion. You know why? Because they take Spice Mass as their own. They think it's their own business. So they have attitude. They have problem. This is our water. The water that is coming in, the foreign water, the money is not staying here. It's going back. Mount Pure water, Glenelg water, Holy water, Blue. It's staying in Grenada. People, you have to support your own local. You don't have to buy Mount Pure, buy Glenelg, buy the other one, but let us support our own. All this water that is coming in here, the money going back out, it's not staying on our island.
True.
You know, and this is what people do not understand. And then we will complain that when we go to the hospital, oh, we had to wait a long time and there was no medicine and there was no this and there was no that. If we do not support our own, we will not have it. We have to support, we have to pay taxes. We have to do these things so we can build our country. And please, when people say there is a water problem in Grenada, there is a planning problem in Grenada. There is not a water problem. When you go to all the hotels, the big hotels that have all these guests, do they have a water problem? No. Why? Because they plan. They plan, they know we are living on an island where we have scarcity of water during the dry season. Why the hotel hasn't got a water problem? Why when you go to Silverton and the other hotels, you see the grass is lovely and clean and green? Because they plan. Let us plan and let us stop making excuse.
Agreed.
That's
definitely. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to chat with you about, I saw it on Facebook. And it wasn't necessarily your post, it was other people posting. And I was waiting. That's Mrs. McQueen in Carriacou. What's she doing in Carriacou? We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Riders Excursion and Tours weekly e-bike rides. Gather your family and friends for an unforgettable ride through stunning landscapes. Book your adventure today at ridersabike.com or call 473-422-1011. Don't miss out. Let's ride.
Welcome back, clubbers. Of course, I'm chatting with Mrs. Rolanda McQueen. Mrs. McQueen, I saw you left your comfortable bed, okay, and I just making joke about it, to go up to Carriacou to sleep on a cot on the floor. No fan, no air condition, okay, getting wet. And now I know you're a humanitarian, so it doesn't surprise me that you jumped the first boat, you load it up with more water than you could carry, and you went up to Carriacou. Tell me about your experience in Carriacou and why.
It was Pitimatnik that I
Okay.
went to. I have a small house up in Pitimatnik, but
Uh-huh.
I haven't even spoken about that because I still had a house in Grenada to come back to. And again, Kirk family. When I'm not there, people look after me. You know, one of the things I saw going up to Pitimatnik is we have forgotten the people of Pitimatnik. Kirk, when I see the amount of fruits and things we have in Grenada, and I see people of Pitimatnik have to wait for St. Vincent to bring things over. That was even before the hurricane. I realized, you know, these people are forgotten. And I just wanted to go up there to say, we are family, to let us see a familiar face, to go up there and work with them. Kurt, there was not one leaf left on the tree in Pitimatnik. Not one leaf. These people have been traumatized. You know, the family I was staying with, one of the young lady said there was a time they thought they were going to die. And she looked at her dad and she said to her dad, Daddy, are we going to die? And he said, no, darling, I'm going to save you. And then that is where that was very painful. What I did up there, Kurt, is nothing comparing to what the people went through. And I felt that I wish I could have been in St. Patrick's and the other areas, and I will go and visit. One of the things I will do is to get more involved with NACMA. I never realized the job that they did. I never even realized where they were, their office. And I think this is thing more I want to volunteer more, have them prepared, maybe. Because I was one that was saying, oh, NACMA has never contacted me. But I'm going to contact them now because it's our responsibility to do that. So I am going to contact them and see how I could get more involved with them to help them in case of another disaster. But the people up there, Kurt, it is bad. There is no toilet. There was a lot of food and things coming in. But Kurt, can I say something?
Go ahead.
There is a time we have to stop the aid from coming in and say no more. The people up there, they need their roof to cover. I was speaking to someone that had a supermarket, and people do not realize with all the aids and things, we do not want to become reliant on foreign goods, on foreign aid, because then we cripple ourselves. If there is so much food coming in, then the supermarkets cannot sell anything. These people will lose their job. Because I had one of the supermarkets saying, well, I can't open my work. I can't because I can't afford to pay my workers, because everything is coming in. It's free. People not working, we got to get in free food. So we have to be careful. Let us get our people back up on their feet and let us start reviving our economy. Let us give the people material to fix their roof. Help them in that way. Stop the free thing. People want to get back out there and work. People want to be independent. Grenadians are very proud, very independent people. Let us help them with things to get back on their feet. And let us stop all this freeness that is coming in. Let us start fixing our agriculture. Let us get, let us give the people that has lost. I was speaking maybe we had a meeting and I spoke with GDB, and I asked the manager, what are they doing for the people with the agriculture that have lost? And he said to me that they have given them some seed money. I think they $500. I wasn't happy with that. $500. Are you guys serious? Let us get people. No wonder young people don't want to go into agriculture. I saw a woman cook. All her planting had disappeared. I said to her, has anybody come to see you? She said no. All my nutmeg tree had fallen down, but I'm okay. Let us get our people back up on their feet and stop waiting. We like too much aid. We can do it. Our ancestors did it when they left them. But my first nickel panty was one with a piece of string that I had to tie. They told me to make a bow with it. And I couldn't make a bow, I make a knot. And I went home with my panty in my hand. Look at where we are now. Let us stop relying on people to come and help us. We could help ourselves. We are bright people. We are smart. Let us get together and stop expecting that it will drop from the sky. We can do it, Grenadians. We could do it. Come on, let us do it.
Definitely. I think, I've been speaking to a lot of my friends in Carriacou as well. And the issue is not food. The issue is material to at least try to get back to some semblance of normal.
That's it.
You know, if I could get my roof back and my water and my electricity, and I know that takes some time, but if I could sleep comfortably, I could start to be productive as well again.
That's it. That's it.
Forget the aid. Take off the VAT on the materials.
That's
off the VAT on the galvanized. I think that is where the people, and the truth and the fact is some of them have money, but the money is of no use because they can't get the materials or the labor to rebuild.
Thank you. And most of the aid that is coming, they're coming in from big countries that just write it off, big companies, as a tax loss. They're not helping us. So let us start helping ourselves now. Whichever way the money is coming, let us don't keep the money. They give it to people, share it out, and let them start getting back on their feet. That is what they need. My roof still in the water plant is not repaired. And one of the things, the insurance companies, I am insured because I know we live on an island where we have hurricanes. Most of the people that is not insured is because they had a terrible experience with the insurance company not paying up. Maybe NIS, maybe let us insure ourselves. The amount of money we pay into these foreign companies, and when we have a disaster, they don't want to pay up. Maybe let us think of a way where we can put the money in our own insurance company here in Grenada and insure ourselves. We know where we live. We know we expect the hurricane. If the money we were paying to this foreign insurance, and when time to give us our money, they drag in their feet. I was told there was only 2 loss adjusters that came down. My roof is still leaking. And it's like, fix it and you will get the money after. This is the type of things we have to look at. We can look after ourselves. Let us stop looking out there for people to help us because they're not helping us. They're not interested. And if they come and they say they're not paying us, there is nothing we could do about it.
Yeah. It's also an opportunity for us to build back better. And it's very easy for me to say that. But I think that, unless we have rules and regulations in place and we have proper inspectors, a lot of contractors are going to take advantage of people. They'll tell you that your roof is hurricane safe, but it really is not because they're looking to cut costs and maximize profit. And you get a job and then, you're wondering what happened. When I look at the hospital in Carriacou, the funding that was given to build the hospital was supposed to ensure that the roof could handle a Category 5 hurricane, but the roof was one of the first things that went. So I think there's so much we have to look at in terms of lessons coming out of the disaster, building back better and ensuring that we do, and of course, remembering that we can do it ourselves. Yes, we appreciate the aid, but we can do it ourselves. Now, I want to take a quick break, and when we come back, the hottest topic in Grenada right now is the sacking of Senator Lacrette. You're a former senator. So we take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to get your perspective on that.
And Spice Love Comedy Bash is back by popular demand. Saturday 17th August at the Trade Center in Grandance and Sunday 18th August at Deluxe Cinema Grenville, 7 p.m. both shows. Prepare to be swept off your seats as Grenada's ambassadors of comedy will flood the place with laughter. Robert White, Dillian Walters and Gregory Paul, Kareem Alexis, and a host of others outrageously funny people doing outrageously funny things. Get your 6 $60 tickets on sale at Mitchell's Pharmacy Food Fair Complex Grandance, Gittins Pharmacy Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. Andrew's Pharmacy Grenville, St. David's Pharmacy, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B Shoe Store, downtown St. George's, and go to Fed.com. Tickets for the previously scheduled Grenville performances are valid for both shows. Don't miss this final opportunity to enjoy a good Grenadian laugh at Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, 17th and 18th August at the Grenada Trade Center and Deluxe Cinema. Get your tickets and come prepared to laugh.
Welcome back, folk. Of course, you're tuned in to the Wake Up Club on the Ride Along Network. I'm chatting with Mrs. Rolanda McQueen. And Mrs. McQueen, as a former senator, I have to ask your take on the hottest thing that's happening in Grenada now, which is the sacking of Senator Lacrette. What's your take on that? We've been hearing all sorts of different stories. Somehow I think I'm missing the truth somewhere.
I am hearing all different stories as well. But the way I look at it, Kurt, the Prime Minister has what you call the top job. And with the top job, you have to make tough decisions. Not everybody that is good at making tough decisions. And we have to support the decision that he makes. We may not agree with it, but this is the responsibility that we gave to him, to make tough decisions. What we have to do is to support him, but we do not have to agree with him, but let us support him. We gave him the job. Let us support the decision that he makes.
Okay. All right. You here, you're a businesswoman. What's your take on Grenada as a whole? We got the setback from Hurricane Beryl. What's your take on the direction that Grenada is heading in?
We're not in a good place.
Tell me about that.
We need to run Grenada like a business. And not a lot. I see a lot of people running Grenada like the governments, I would say, a lot of the government ministry running Grenada like they think it's their own business. They have attitude. Most of them have no clue what is going on. Let us run our island as a business. And when there are people that are not doing the right thing, let them be accountable. Get rid of them. Make tough decisions. Make tough decisions like what the Prime Minister has made. If they are not doing the job properly, get rid of them. Kurt, I have seen, I was the chairperson for the Cannabis Committee. And I saw some things, Kurt, that was quite sad.
Okay.
Really, 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 really sad. People take things too personal. They have a job, a government job, and they think that they are the boss. There's only one boss here, and it's the Prime Minister. Grenada is not run right. We have to change, otherwise we are going to lose our island. We have to, when people want a loan and they go to the bank, you have to bring your great-great-grandmother with you. Because 99% of my workers, I had to open a bank account for them. I had to say to them, listen, we're going to pay you so you could know what you will do with your wages at the end of the month. Most people here still go to work and people give them some money in their hands at the end of the day. How can people plan? If every day you go to work, there is a $60, there is a $70. I have people, I have somebody that working for me. He worked in hotels and different places before, and he gave us a name. This is a 60-year-old man, and he never had an NIS number. And we trying now to get him an NIS. And everywhere he went to they couldn't. Then he came back and he said, oh, the man I thought was my father is not my father. Look, the man was using a wrong name for the last 60 years. He don't
What?
even know where he get the name from. He has no idea who give him the name, where he get the name from, and these are the type of things. So many people cannot read and write. There is, but let us help. Let us do not look down on these people. Let us help them along the way. And what we are trying to do at GDB, and I know that we speak about, is to help these people, to help the people that get lost. Sometimes when you go to these government ministries and you want to fill out a form, you may not know how to do it, or they will look down on you. As a senator, as I said, I am not an academic, as an ex-senator. There were senators that would not show.
We seem to be having an audio issue. I'm not hearing you. We're taking a quick break, and let's see if we can rectify that audio issue, Junior.
Pick yourself up with Ride Rent a e-bike today and take advantage of the smartest and coolest way to get around. Rental starting for only $30 per hour and less than $100 EC per day. Zip through traffic, save money, and look awesome doing it. Check us out at the Esplanade Mall today. Visit us online at ridersebike.com or give us a call at 473-422-1011. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. Ride Rent a e-bike.
And Spice Love Comedy Bash is back by popular demand. Saturday 17th August at the Trade Center in Grandance and Sunday 18th August at Deluxe Cinema Grenville, 7 p.m. both shows. Prepare to be swept off your seats as Grenada's ambassadors of comedy will flood the place with laughter. Robert White, Dillian Walters and Gregory Paul, Kareem Alexis, and a host of others outrageously funny people doing outrageously funny things. Get your $60 tickets on sale at Mitchell's Pharmacy Food Fair Complex Grandance, Gittins Pharmacy Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmota, St. Andrew's Pharmacy Grenville, St. David's Pharmacy, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B Shoe Store, Downtown St. George's, and go to Fed.com. Tickets for the previously scheduled Grenville performances are valid for both shows. Don't miss this final opportunity to enjoy a good Grenadian laugh at Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, 17th and 18th August at the Grenada Trade Center and Deluxe Cinema. Get your tickets and come prepared to laugh.
Welcome back, folks. Hopefully we've got no audio issue rectified. Mrs. McQueen?
Yes, can you hear me? Is this better?
Okay, yes, I'm hearing you now.
Yeah.
I hope we can get back on a roll. You were talking about this gentleman, and it alarmed me that he was able to survive for 60 years in Grenada.
There is lots of talk. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. There are many more like him. There are many people. There are lots of Grenadian. I have Cuban workers over here that come and get NIS. And there are Grenadians that have worked all their lives and do not have an NIS card. We have to educate our people. Because this government, I supported them because I wanted to see change. I am not NNP or NDC. I feel sorry for the Prime Minister. Before I supported him, I went and I sat down and I had a chat with him. And I like what he was saying. I liked his idea. I believe if he had the right people around him, maybe he would be one of the best prime ministers. But I see lots of things, Kurt. I feel really sorry for him because I believe his intention is really, 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 really good. Because at the end of the day, he's not a poor man. But I see lots of things that is happening. And I'm happy he start making tough decisions now. As I say, I don't know what went on with this last minister. But I support him. If you give a man the top job, make tough decisions. Show us some balls.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know you talked about the public service, and I see it all the time too. You know, a lot of people, sometimes the government itself gets a bad name because people see the public service as an arm of government. And you have a lot of, you know, I keep hearing all my life about public sector reform, that, you know, people are going to come into to work and do their jobs. They're not going to show up to work and spend the entire day chatting with a friend on the phone. And by the time 3:30, they grab their handbag or their briefcase to run off the job, and they're not actually doing any service for the country. I think we definitely have to look at public sector reform in some way to get our people to understand that you're being paid for a job, you have to do it.
But Kirk, how can we build our country by working from 8 to 4? It is impossible. We have to have, we Mount Pure, we don't close. We work 24 hours a day around the clock. You know, I'm seeing there are workers, ordinary minimum wage workers, that going home with $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Because when we're in the bigger country, Kirk, we have 2-3 jobs. We do overtime. To build our country, we have to be doing the same thing. You cannot come to work at 8, start at 9, and go home by 3. When you look at the foreign people that is coming here, when you look at the Indians, for example, do you know where they live? They don't live in our community. Every Friday or mountain, they come with their little van. They take our money from the village and they disappear. You go down in Grand Anse and places, you're going to see the big houses they are building, because these people walk right through. They do not stop. To build our country, to build our lifestyle, we have to work. We cannot expect to work from 8 to 4, do 5 hours work and expect to build our country. We cannot do it. It's impossible. And that's the type of thing we want the politicians and them to be telling people. But you see, most of these politicians now, they are happy to be on Facebook, to be, making a quick money. Sometimes when we hear of the corruptions and things that is going on, nobody speaks about it. If you hear a politician is corrupt, speak about it. They're spending your money. Because if I come, Kirk, and I take your money, I know you're going straight down to the police for me.
Definitely.
If somebody takes my money, I'm going to do the same thing. When this politician and them stealing from us and thieving from us, speak about it. This is our money. There is too much corruption on this little island. Too much corruption. It's like a mafia that is going on. The prime minister cannot see everything. Report it. Go to the police. Go to CID and report this person at work is stealing. This person. People do not realize. If you take a company vehicle or government vehicle and go and visit your girlfriend, that is stealing. You cannot do it in bigger country. You will be sacked. Don't do it here. We have to change. We have to run our country like a company. If you're working at Sanders, you're not going to take the vehicle at Sanders and go around the island. You cannot do it when you're working for the government either.
Well, you shouldn't. You're able to do it because nobody's watchmaning you. Because you see, in most corporations, at the end of the year, you get an evaluation. In many instances, within the public service, there's no evaluation. You come as you come, you go as you go. As you say, you drive the government vehicle wherever you want. You use the gas how much you want. You're trying not to go to school. You go in the supply. You take some pen and pencils. You take paper and you go home. But really and truly, what you're doing is thieving.
And thieving from us.
Definitely.
From me
now
and
listen. Definitely. Now listen. The program is 1 hour, and I really enjoyed the wealth of information to hear your perspective on so much that's happening. The water situation. Congratulations on not winning the case, but on providing information and education for people on their rights. Some people will look at it, oh, Ms. Rolanda won the case. I have to look at it as, listen, I have more information about my rights as an individual, as a business person, because of this precedence. And sometimes people don't look for the message, they don't look for the lesson in the message. You know? Before we wrap up, I want to give you the opportunity, final words. What would you like to see? We talk about our people and we're still living in the most beautiful country in the world. But unless our people get on track, we are going to muck it up. Your final words.
Let us try and find employment for our young men. There are too many young men out there on the street. A man would never feel like a man if he does not have a job. How can we get these young men out on the street? Let us make them feel like.
We seem to have lost the audio again. But, you know, I want to thank Mrs. McQueen for sharing her experience, information, knowledge with us this morning. There's so many things we have to tackle as a people in this country, and I think it begins with us. You know, we're looking at the government, we're looking at all the bacchanal going on, but what are you doing as a Grenadian to better yourself and your family? Are you just sitting back and relaxing and taking everything for granted? Or are you becoming the person that you should be, a better version of yourself? As I said this morning, I challenge you this morning, remember, we are all equal. The first employment contract you ever get, Papa God give you that. The first job description you ever get, whether you're employed or you're not employed, is to love your neighbor as yourself. Some of all you had to get fired. Papa God could fire some of all you because you are not doing the job that he has asked you to do. I'm asking you to do that this morning. Okay? The person you ain't talking to for many years, call him and say good morning. The person that you look down on, try to understand and know their story. Okay? You ain't doing that for me. You're doing that for yourself. You're going to feel better about it. I want to thank you for joining us on the Wake Up Club. I want to remind you that we appreciate you. We appreciate you more than ever. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss, please shoot us a line. Please let us know. We're going to talk about it. There's a lot to talk about. Right now, we have to worry about all these people that are living in shelters. You know what happens in shelters, okay? Them girls, they have no clothes. They hardly work in any clothes. We have a set of foreign soldiers. We are all kind of things. I don't want to tell you about the repercussion for it. People ain't working no way. Okay, you have to think about all the different problems that could happen with our young girls or young boys in these shelters. We have to stop living with our eyes wide shut. And we got to talk the talk. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into the Wake Up Club. We'll see you again on Tuesday. Oh, we're planning to have more episodes. It ain't gonna just be a 2-day thing. We're working on it. Have a good one, folk. Bye.
You call me to lift the level, high the level, raise the level, up it, up it.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians. From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches, but the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
You call me to lift the level, high the level, raise the level, up it, up it.
Experience the thrill of Riders Excursion and Tours weekly e-bike rides. Gather your family and friends for an unforgettable ride through stunning landscapes. Book your adventure today at ridersabike.com or call 473-422-1011. Don't miss out. Let's ride.
And Spice Laugh Comedy Bash is back by popular demand. Saturday 17th August at the Trade Center in Grandance and Sunday 18th August at Deluxe Cinema Grenville, 7 p.m. both shows. Prepare to be swept off your seats as Grenada's ambassadors of comedy will flood the place with laughter. Robert White, Dillian Walters and Gregory Paul, Kareem Alexis, and a host of others outrageously funny people doing outrageously funny things. Get your $60 tickets on sale at Mitchell's Pharmacy Food Fair Complex Grandance, Gittins Pharmacy Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. Andrew's Pharmacy Grenville, St. David's Pharmacy, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B Shoe Store, Downtown St. George's, and go to Fed.com. Tickets for the previously scheduled Grenville performances are valid for both shows. Don't miss this final opportunity to enjoy a good Grenadian laugh at Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, 17th and 18th August at the Grenada Trade Center and Deluxe Cinema. Get your tickets and come prepared to laugh.
Today,